So kanina safeguarding yung children and adolescents yung tina-target ng company nyo with the use of yung game, no, for combating cyber threats. From there, move on muna tayo to yung protection ng businesses naman from cyber attacks. In today's episode, #NetForGood.
Ayan, syempre, kaya ngayon, nandito, kasama din natin si Engineer Ray. Let us start siguro ang ating discussion with the common types of cyber threats in a corporate settings.
Yes. Marami talagang cyber threats, no, in the corporate setting. So, if I may share, no, so I worked before in a digital bank. So I was part of the Information Security Office, and later on, I transitioned sa academe, no. Coming from the Information Security Office, doing yung information security awareness trainings for new employees, and also yung mga third-party service providers and current employees of the bank. So nalipat naman ako teaching operations management sa UP School of Business, and part of the one of the courses na I'm teaching is Information Technology Management, and there's a specific section of the curriculum now where we're able to teach cybersecurity for college students.
Ang ganda kasi, sir, kasi before, yung time natin, hindi ganun ka-boom yung cybersecurity. Pero this time kasi, ang ganda na may mga program na ganito. Kasi I've worked din also in Globe. Part din ng isang division namin yung surveillance engineering. Ito naman, we keep all the sites in all over the Philippines na working talaga. And lahat ng information dapat naka-safe keep. Just unlike in the corporate world, may mga iniingatan kasi tayo mga information, di ba? Or mga details when it comes to the secrecy ng mga bawat company.
Yes, engineer. So, if I may, parang give us short definition, parang lecture type na. So, sa Information Security Office kasi, or when we talk about information security and cybersecurity, meron tatlong tenets ng cybersecurity, no, which is yung CIA. So paulit-ulit yung acronym na yun. So that's confidentiality of data, integrity of data, and also some form of authentication. So kailangan verified yung user, no. So when it comes to cyber threats, kanina na yun mention. So in the corporate setting, very common talaga is phishing and some form of social engineering attack. So, I think very relatable sa ating mga hosts, no, and even sa ating mga viewers, yung mga emails tsaka yung mga SMS na yan na nanalo ka ng 10,000 pesos. Parang syempre pag makita mo, initially masaya. Pero yun yan, no? So, if for example, meron kang information security awareness, or talaga nag-work ka sa IT, or meron kang subjects in information security, or let's say youth na nakapaglaro ka ng educational games, no, when it comes to cybersecurity, katulad nung kay Sir Mike, no. So mano-notice mo na there's something fishy in the SMS or email, no. So that's one thing na tinuturo natin, no, as part of the cybersecurity courses or sections.
So yung yung phishing, sabi mo yun yung siguro one of the most common na
Yes, very common.
kumbaga cyber threat sa corporate setting. Yun yung mga kaduda-duda, no, na link. Nadali na ako niyan once Pero ano yung pwede mong ma-share sa amin na technology na ginagamit sa corporate setting to battle yung ganong klaseng threat?
Yes.
And the cyber threats in general, no?
Yes.
Maliban sa
So,
phishing.
Before tayo mag-delve into the current technologies in the cybersecurity field, no, I think it's equally important, again, no, na i-emphasize na there's a human factor to phishing, no, and social engineering. So it would be really great na first line of defense is yung user awareness, para in the first place, hindi mag-fall into yung mga scams na yung mag-click. Kasi pag na-click, usually doon nagkakaroon ng form of device compromise, no, and doon na na-access ng hackers, for example. Pero at the same time, meron mga enterprise tools when it comes to cybersecurity. So usually, meron tayong mga third-party service providers, and at the same time, meron din mga in-house teams. So for example, sa mga digital banks, it's highly regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So that's and for the corporate setting, of course, no, meron tayong mga laws regarding that, no. So yung Cybersecurity Act and also yung Data Privacy Act, no. So kailangan mag-comply yung mga organizations and businesses with respect to that. Yung mga current technologies, it's a combination. So cybersecurity is a multi-layer practice of security. So yung mga technologies na common, no, meron tayong mga traditional technologies such as firewalls, no, yan yung mga basic, no, and of course yung common sa ating mga mga pinanganak na nung computer
90s nga yung firewall na yun.
So antivirus software, no.
Antivirus.
So antivirus software may mga free, no, antivirus. So like Avast, and may free version, but there's also paid version of the antivirus software. So part of the security awareness is, of course, it's nice to have antivirus software, pero at the same time you also need to continuously update it, no. So it sounds kind of simple, but it's very important, no, when it comes to keeping up with the fast evolving viruses and malware, no. So bukod sa phishing and social engineering attacks, we also have yung malware, no. So baka medyo lagi na naririnig. So malware stands for malicious software, no. So mga software na kailangan nating ma-filter out, and common dyan, no? Yung pinaka-common is yung virus. That's yung antivirus software. So may mga tools na and pag sa enterprise, usually binabayaran in bulk yan, no. So kunwari lahat ng mga devices within a digital bank or the corporate setting. So sinisingil nila in bulk yung mga software subscriptions. Ayan, so may mga third-party service providers and vendors.
Actually, important yun eh. Lalo na ngayon na ang daming mga hindi lang tayong mga hindi lang mga bata eh. At the same time, lalo na yung mga senior citizen. Usually sila yung mga nagiging victim ng mga data privacy na paminsan, kasi di ba paminsan nagbibigay ka ng information, kunyari sa mga nag-aalok ng credit card sa SM, nagbigay ka ng information, hindi mo alam, kasi agency sila, hindi mo naman alam yung data information na binibigay mo sa kanila is hanggang saan ba nabibigay. Kaya napaka-importante din na from the BSP mismo, paano ba magkakaroon ng protection itong mga client, di ba? Saka mga customer na they continuously give their information pero hindi nakapagbigay ng assurance yung mga bank na mga partner ng BSP or mismo mga bangko dito sa atin sa Pilipinas na magkaroon ng protection yung mga yung mga client or yung customer when it comes to that kind of activity. Kasi ang daming mga senior citizen talaga na nabi-victim. Lalo kasi wala silang masyadong alam when it comes to cybersecurity. Kaya sila yung number one na naloloko. Kasi ang daming, kahit ako natatawagan ako, pero alam ko na kapag nangingi na siya ng information about personal, sinasabi ko na lang na I'm not interested.
Mga one OTP, yung mga ganyan, one-time password na, no? Kaya, in line with that, no? So, maliban dun sa, of course, yung protection ng data ng mga businesses and government agencies, importante yan, no? Can you share some of the best practices for them to protect their data and at the same time, yung data ng mga kliyente nila, tulad ng sinasabi ni Kuya Brian?
So, some of the best practices, no, for Philippine businesses and also government offices, no. So first, no, it's having a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy for the business or organization, no, government organization. For example, of course, no, dapat multi-layered security within the organization when it comes to handling data. And yun, yung mga minention natin kanina na yung traditional cybersecurity technologies, information security awareness, and at the same time, no, like continuously updating, no, when it comes to the emerging technologies, no, or advanced technologies in cybersecurity, no. For example, yung mga cybersecurity providers na nag-incorporate ng artificial intelligence and machine learning. Tapos merong concept ng zero trust architecture, no, na dapat sa government offices as much as possible talagang lagi may some form of control for all the devices, no. So if i-practice ng government offices and also business organizations, no, it will increase yung transparency, no. And hopefully for the government offices pati yung bad practices, no, when it comes to corruption, since there is increased transparency, talagang malelesen, no. And there are also other technologies and security controls, no, like yung MFA. We're all doing some form of MFA, no, or multi-factor authentication, or sometimes they call it two-factor authentication kung dalawa lang, no. So now, bakit very important, no, or ine-enforce sa mga banks, for example, yung multi-factor authentication? Kasi merong concept na yung authentication, for example, yung device mo, it's something that you have. Yung password mo pala, no, is something that you know. Pero yung authentication mo, parang binabago mo siya, no. So after mo ipasok yung password, hindi pa fully completed yung transaction. Kasi you need to prove another part of your identity, no. So for example, may hacker na very common to na naririnig natin na na-hack yung password. So kung na-hack yung password mo and meron kang let's say 100,000 pesos sa yung mobile banking application, GCash or any banking app, and then dun sa sa mobile app mo is biglang ma-hack yung password mo. So basically, it's like free money, no, for the hacker. But what if there's multi-factor authentication? So and nakalipat sa sa another device yung pagpasok ng one-time password. So technically, yung hacker wouldn't be able to access your digital bank unless he also has your physical device. So kung hacker lang sila and hindi ka naman nila na-kidnap or hindi nila nakuha yung device mo, basically, merong another security control and they would be denied access even if they're able to hack your password. Ayan. So, some form of combination, no? So, yung cybersecurity strategy na comprehensive and at the same time, no, yung having an incident response planning team, no? Incident response team within your organization. Let's say something happens, no. So meron ba kayo information security office, information security cyber response team, no, to deal with that. So kunwari merong na-hack na organization or nagkaroon ng ransomware, no. So hininga ng pera yung organization. For example, na merong company before na na-hack and then nagkaroon na ransomware, no. It's a digital sports watch company sometime during the pandemic, no. Nangyari 'yon. So lahat ng sa company na yan medyo affected yung users, no. So hiningan daw ng ransom, no. So for example, nangyari 'yon, paano magre-respond your organization, no. So dapat merong incident response team and aside from the cybersecurity team, no, lahat dapat na important departments within the organization should be a part of your incident response team all the way to your media team. Paano may kipag-communicate, no, to the stakeholders, to the customers and users of your business. And lastly, yung collaboration and sharing. So cybersecurity should be exercised and shared, no, between government offices and also your businesses. And even the academe, no, can play a big role in that, no, bridging that gap between the government offices and the businesses. So yung may mga practices, no, for example, yung sa BSP, no, and the digital banks, merong continuous updating of BSP circulars and yung Cybersecurity Act, Data Privacy Act sa National Privacy Commission, and at the same time, yung mga practices ng best practices ng mga businesses and other organizations ay may incorporate into this corresponding laws, no, when it comes to cybersecurity and data privacy.
Ano ba yung sa tingin ninyo ng mga mahalagang key points na pwede nating ibigay sa ating mga viewers?
Okay, so
Start tayo kay Sir Mike. Sige.
So, ang main key point na gusto kong i-focus is like everyone has a part to play. So whether tayo na medyo late na or matatanda na tayo nung pumasok sa digital
Digital age.
Tapos yung mga yung generation na mas matanda kaysa sa atin na mas nahihirapan silang mag-adapt. And yung new generation na ang pasok nila sa mundo is, ayun na, wala silang idea ng other concept, digital world. So lahat is involved, lahat ay may parte na dapat gawin. Dahil lahat din naman ay posibleng maging biktima. So, yun yung sobrang pinaka-importante na gusto ko i-point out. Dahil digital advancement nga, sobrang bilis din, nabanggit kanina na lahat ng mga hackers nag-iisip yan. So, kailangan sumabay tayo. Kailangan tayo sumabay sa kung paanong sila nagiging creative, kung paano mang-hack. Tayo din, kailangan updated lagi sa mga new ways of defending ourselves. So, kasi nga, dahil pinakamadali pa rin is ma-prevent natin yung mga hacking. So, kasi once you prevented it, wala ka nang kailangan resolbahin, di ba? Another thing na gusto ko i-point out is yung lagi namin sinasabi sa lahat ng mga new students namin. No? Ang mga hacker, kailangan lang nilang maging successful ng isang beses para makuha nila yung gusto nila. Ikaw, kailangan mong mag-isip ng maraming ways para i-defend yung sarili mo. Kumbaga, mas mahirap mag-defend kaysa umatake. And sila, dahil sila talagang, yung purpose nila, iisa lang, is to be able to get through. So, kailangan tayo mag-isip ng many ways. From the kids level hanggang sa mga teens and all. Kahit sa typical household, kahit sabihin mo, let's say, matatanda, natuto na sila sa companies nila, tinuruan kung paano yung awareness level, pero yung bata, dun naka-penetrate yung hacker. Buong household, damay pa din kasi nakahanap ng butas. So, ganun. So, everyone's not safe, so we have to keep on evolving as well as the dangers are out there. Kailangan pati tayo updated.
Yes. So very nice, no? I agree with Sir Mike. Everyone is involved, no? And everyone is open to cyber attacks, no? And ako gusto ko i-highlight, no? Medyo paulit-ulit dito yung information security awareness, no? So for example sa company ni Sir Mike, they're starting at the youth, no? At the age of youth. So very similar to what Cyber Guardians, no, and dun sa ASEAN Cybersecurity Skilling Program, na yung target would be the youth, no, so mostly high school students and college students. And siguro sa experience ko with Cyber Guardians, so I've been able to go to schools, no, or LGUs, no, for example sa LGU here in Pasig, sa Pasig Catholic College, sa St. Vincent School of Theology, tsaka sa Radio Veritas. And yung youth talaga, no, being able to share information security awareness at a young age, and eventually, no, for the youth, no, we're able to listen right now. Cybersecurity right now and information security is a fast rising field, no, not just around the globe, but even here in the Philippines, in the sense that lahat ng businesses, no, are required to do some form of information security controls, no. So nagkakaroon na ng batas like your Cybersecurity Act, Data Privacy Act, and it's really something that the youth can consider also as part of their future perspectives for career, no. So and in line din, no, sa gamified startup ni na Sir sa Singapore, no, sa Hexcore Labs. And at the same time, no, yung continuous collaboration between the government offices and the businesses in updating, no, yung mga emerging technologies when it comes to cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you sa ating mga guests, Sir Mike and Sir Ray, sa kanilang napakagandang mga insight at madami na naman tayong natutunan sa episode na to, Kuya Pao.
That's right, Kuya Brian. It's been a pleasure to have you both in Cyber Chat at maraming salamat. Magbabalik po kami dito sa Cyber Chat Season 3.